Hey, what's up, guys? This is T-Bone here, and welcome to the stream. So thanks a lot again for joining me. So one of the things I'm going to try and do moving forward is to see if I can do a regular schedule for streaming. And I'm thinking that Tuesdays and Thursday evenings for me will work out well. I know that, in terms of time, unfortunately, I can't, find a time that works for everyone, but I appreciate all the support so far. And so thanks for joining me. If you're just joining right now, today we're going to go and take a look at some decks. And I would also like to hear from you guys and see what you guys are using. And I kind of figured that this would be a good and fun way to talk about deck building and also just kind of see what other people have ideas on. And just saying hi to everybody. So, starting from the top. So I see Toxic Blitz and also Victoria, as well as Rylan Lopez and Ben Rutherford and Gary Castle. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining me. All right, so before I forget, this is something that I did agree that I would talk about in one of the requests. So by now, hopefully, you should already be participating in 3.0. And if you haven't updated or haven't updated the game, or if you've just kind of been away for a while, do keep in mind that the introduction of game 3.0 did require an iOS update as well. So if you're using an older version of a tablet or I think iPhone 6 and below, I don't think it works anymore because it requires at least iOS 10, I believe. I can't remember the exact number. But anyway, so if you don't have the correct OS update, the game update will not be available, and therefore you're not going to be able to install the game and play. And so in case you were wondering, this was something that was brought to my attention, and I agreed to at least let people know. So just wanted to make sure that you are aware of this. So again, thanks a lot. And one of the things I want to talk about in terms of format for the streams, because people do watch this afterwards, and with the stream it can go on a little bit long. So I'm going to try and make sure that we go through some of the ideas first. And I'm going to definitely have a lot more conversations afterwards. So maybe the first 5 minutes or so, I'm just going to talk about the teams that I'm currently using, where I'm at, anything that I'm facing, so we can just allow people who are going to be watching this afterwards get to the good stuff right away. All right, and just saying hi again to people. So hello to Zaina and Debbie. So welcome, everyone. All right, so let's see. So for me right now, this is where I'm at. I haven't really got a chance to play very much. I had a full day of work and I couldn't play as much as I would have liked. And just saying hi to Arcadian and Paxton. And so right now where I'm sitting, I'm not really far into my battles. I usually stop at around level 3 just because I want to preserve all of my keys to do the challenges. And I did actually try to do an ultimate challenge, and what ended up happening was I ended up crashing. And so I did email support. So if you ever have any issues where you're crashing or something, just collect as much information as you can and they'll give you your keys back. And then I just decided to put the keys back in the challenge. And so I have a deck I built for challenges, and then I also have one for just regular battles. So these are some of the teams that I've built up right now for use, and I would love to hear from you guys. If you wanted to share your in-game name, I can also take a look. We can, I want this to be open, right? So afterwards, maybe if you need help with building a deck or something, let's use this opportunity to go through some. And so for me right now, let's see. So I was playing around with a lot of things. So the last Fire Commander event was the one that allowed me to be pushed into the Legends League. And this is the team that I used. And I tried this, a variation of this, and it didn't deal as much damage. I was actually using 2 Thoughts here. And it, obviously because it didn't have the affinity bonus and empowerment. So this didn't quite work out as well as I would have liked, although this does work just for regular bosses. And then I have a turn 1 deck as well. So if anybody has the Fire Dragon or the Water deck, consider using this. So this configuration where you throw in some of the Generation 3 cards and put in some of the Dragon or the Water cards. I'm going to show you how this works. It's just something that allows you to get overkill without killing the boss by accident. This is what I use for my challenges, kind of cheating a little bit because I'm using a full deck here. But, now that they've opened up the challenges so that you can actually use any team you want, I just kind of feel like this is the best one for me. But, there are other teams that you can use as well. and I'm not using any of these teams. But currently the dark team that I am using, so just for a regular boss right now, I am using mostly the cards from the previous event. So that is, you know, Aswang and also Baktilang. Menacing Tibalang, and also, you know, the support card, which is Manangal the Wicked. I only got the support card this event as I expected, because I didn't get the event card from my collection. I actually got, what did I get? I got a 5-star Exenka. So that is the one that I got. So I couldn't really use that in my deck. And so I'm using Trusted Chariot as the, you know, as the support card here, as the leader, and actually his nuke is pretty good, and so that's also something that I enjoy using. And so, you know, I put in Hell in there to add more damage, and I also tried using the Mouse King. It also works okay. And so let's see, I got some deck ideas there. So Yorn Swarmers, Geogaya, 2 Arf Bark, 2 Arf Bark Barks. That's and 1 hang up. I'm trying to translate the card to the name to the actual card. Let me know what you're actually referring to, so I can see if I can actually build that deck as well. So yes, the God team also works well. And so I am sort of, you know, contemplating on whether or not I'm going to spend the gems. Right now I've only spent 1,000 gems on the relic, and so I'm trying to decide. It's just that without the card, I'm missing on 3 runes, and I'm also missing out on 20 Rilka summon coins. I am looking to get the cudgel, so I need Rilka, and so, you know, depending on how I do with the runes right now, not looking so hot. I haven't actually collected my master collection yet, and I already have 2 duplicates for ultimate. For not ultimate, for the ultra rare, so that's a little unfortunately there. So anyways, so let's go ahead and start doing some matches here. And so okay, a Barca. Okay, so that was actually really funny. I thought that was really funny. So anyways, let's see. So what I did just before I started the stream here was I tried to push my legend, my cards up to at least 200 so I can try a legend. But up to this point, what I was doing, I was going up against just the regular boss using this team. At some point, I was using just the regular one-turn deck, and then that got me about 800 million or so, and then at about level 160, 170 is when it stopped working well. So this is the team I'm using. This actually can go pretty fast. I think it's this one right here. And so I'll show you how this worked out. So it's pretty quick. I don't actually have to wait for Aswang battle skill to be ready here, and this is actually a turn 2 damage deck here, and I can show you also how I can use this similar deck for 1 King Legends, but I'm just going to show you the mechanic here. So the main thing here is you want to make sure that you can get a power gem 4 on the start, and that way you can use Tigbalang, and then you can activate Hell as well, and then activate the 2 of the support cards. With this, you'll be able to have a pretty good solid board full of power gems, and then you can just do it, swap here, and I think this will net me about 10, let's see, about 9 to 10 billion, I think. And so this is not quite enough for a overkill just yet. I need 14 billion output in order to get overkill starting level 200 legend. So I can kind of go through my deck for how I can get there. Just going back to the chat here for a second. So cover whether the past relic is worth updating to the ultimate. Yes, I'll definitely cover that. One thing I didn't mention. So personally, if you want to talk about forging relics, my perspective is if you have only 2 of them, it may not be the best idea to forge right now. So if you take a look at what you get with a forged ultimate relic, you don't have anything except for 10 additional skills on turn 1, and you have an increased output, but 2 of the relics together actually will out damage the will actually have more damage, I believe. And so if you only have 2 and you combine right now with one pink star, the only benefit you get is the skill. If you get more, like as you have more relics, then it starts to make more sense for you to combine. So my feedback is, if you don't have multiples, if you don't have more than 2, maybe for now just save them. I think you can upgrade them anytime later on, so I wouldn't rush into it. Hopefully that answers your question. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna do a couple of legends, and I'm also going to do overkill, and I'm gonna try a ultra kill as well. So where's my legend? So with this particular setup, I need at least 15 billion in order to get overkill here. And, you know, with only a single support card from this event, it is a little bit harder, but there's a couple options. So I can either go with, I think both of these are the same. So with this particular setup, you just need to basically survive a few turns. And so with the relics I'm using 2 of the Dark Commander relics, and then I'm also using 1 Dark God. I have a Dark Claymore, and I'm also using 1 of the Mystic relics here. Another thing I could actually do is, if I have a powered up Mystic relic, I could also replace my Dark Claymore just to give a little bit of buff to the Trusted Chariot. But really, the Dark Claymore is a little bit better here because I can actually apply it to the entire team. And so I'm gonna go ahead and give this a try. So again, we're gonna use 1 key. Key management is really the name of the game here, right? So, you know, as much as possible, you want to use 1 key, even if it means taking 2 turns. So if you can actually get overkill with 2 keys, that's still, let me rephrase that. I'm going to talk about that a little bit after. I just want to make sure I focus on a fight here. And so with this one, you know, I'm not sure if I'll be able to survive 6 turns necessarily, but I'm going to definitely try as much as I can. And I already forgot one of the things I wanted to do. So one of the things you should definitely do is activate your Manangang the Wicked first, because you will get 5 gems every turn for the next 5 turns. And so that really helps with getting your matches so that you can build up the skill points. The thing that I'm at a disadvantage of right now is that I don't have 5 commanders on the team right now, and so I'm not getting the full benefit of my skill increase. And so it's really imperative that I actually do a match every single turn so that I can actually power up Aswang when it's available. And so I believe I'll be able to survive for, you know, at least 6 turns, so I can get there. But right now I only have 140 skill points, so I think I can probably do 1 more before I need to activate everything. And so we'll see how much we can do here. So I think I need at least multiples of 75, so I'm at 168. Let's see. Yeah, so I don't have any heal, so that's not going to work out. So let's just go ahead with that. So I can basically activate all of the power gems first, and I'll activate Hell, and then I'm going to go ahead and activate the support card here, and let's see how much damage we can deal with this particular setup and see if we can get an overkill. So it looks like we'll be able to do that just fine. So this looks like it's going to give me about 20 somewhat billion, and so I can successfully get this, although, you know, the thing is I'm already pretty low on health by the time I was able to activate Aswang there. So that's sort of my concern, is staying alive long enough. So I'm gonna have to sort of adjust a little bit, but this was able to give me 26 overkill, so like, you know, a total of 35. So this actually can get me close to about 250 or so. And so Tikbalang does offer some heal. Does he really? I think I forgot. Let me see. So if you activate him, also he does recover 1,000%. I totally forgot about that. So that's a very good point. So thanks a lot. So I can actually use that to try and heal a bit. So let's try that again and see how that works out. So let's put that to the test and see how far up we can potentially go without. Unfortunately, I only have 1 of him too. Like, I would have loved to have 2 copies of him or 2 Aswangs, but I only got 1 of each. So we'll try this out again. All right, let's give this a try again. So keep in mind that we can heal, and also I did also want to make sure that I use my skill as soon as I can. So let's go ahead and do this. And, you know, some of the other things I can do is I haven't leveled up my support card, so that is something that I could do to, you know, get a little bit more damage. And I also need to start thinking about upgrading my relic. And it looks like I am starting to experience some lag, so apologies for that. Oh, the lag doesn't look very good. I'm not sure if this is my phone or my machine. Something it could be heating up. But yeah, not a very good not a very good way to be playing here. Like, you know, this often makes me miss my attacks and whatnot. So okay, so let's go ahead and do an activation here so that we can see how much heal we get. And I don't want to accidentally kill the boss either. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if that healed quite sufficiently, but we'll see. I should be able to survive at least long enough for at level 211. Like, I'm expecting probably by level 235, 240 or so, it might become an issue. So I'm gonna have to look for other ways. But there are other cards that I could also try as well. That sucks. I had one more chance to actually get this, and looks like I don't have enough turns. So activating Tikbalang too late is another issue. So that's something, you know, something I'm learning as well. Just, you know, when you activate them is important because of the, is it 6 turn cooldown? Was it 5? I can't remember. But hopefully I can still deal enough damage with this. So 12, 16, 21. This might be just enough as well. So this was enough, but you know, I think I barely made it that time. So the mistake I made there was I activated Tipalang a little too late. And so I didn't actually have a chance to get the battle skill back up and ready. So we can, if we remember, it's 6 turn cooldown. So it's a pretty long, so you basically have to use it right away if you expect to use it again. And so that's something that to think about. And let's see, so if I had 2 cards, which card would I replace? That's a good question. I contemplated on replacing either this card or Hell. I mean, Hell is really good because it gives me a lot of power gems. But if I have another card that has higher base and it can also create power gems, that's power gem force, then I'm not losing a whole lot, and I'm getting the additional power gem, the commander gem bonus. So I probably would experiment and play around with that. It depends. And so Sosi, I can also use Hell's Might Leader. I'll lose a bit of damage, but I should stay alive longer. So if I use Hell, so Hell will actually boost all Dark God heroes. And so if I only have her, I guess the question would be how much health, whether that health would be enough with 1 key. So that's something that we could try a little bit later as well, just as an experiment. But I think at this point, I think what I want to do is take out a couple of ultra overkills, and then we're gonna try for the ultra kill as well. So with overkill, I need at this point 6 billion total, and so this deck would be sufficient. So let's go ahead and use 1 key for this. And then afterwards, I'm going to change out the deck. I'm going to also show you the Mouse King and some other options as well. And let me know your ideas that you want to see. We can try and play around with that as well. So with this setup, I think I can actually do this on turn 2. Right, so I can get my power gem ready there, and then activate Tikbalang, and then Hell, and then the support cards. That should be sufficient for me to get my my overkill objective. And as long as I actually make sure that I can get all of the power gems matched up. Yeah, so this one's not a problem. So I can do a couple. It's only level 145 right now. So these are quick, easy ways to get some overkill objectives. And I think just one more, and then we can get the ultra kill. So let's go ahead and do that. And what level bosses are you guys at this point? You know, the last commander event, I was at level 300 for, I think, you know, on the first day. This time around, it's been over 24 hours, and I just barely got myself to 200. Again, it's just, you know, one of those things. It's a timing thing. And I am hoping to be able to coast in this league so that I don't drop. But people are starting to play a lot harder, so we'll see how that goes for this event. Soul Reaper is a Hell replacement. Yes, so Soul Reaper is a replacement, and also since it's not benefiting from a Slayer event, a Slayer bonus anyway, if you have Xeno Scourge, it's also an option. So you'll get the same output as Soul Reaper as well. So that's another option there. All right, so now we have an Ultra Boss. And here's the things that was going on in my head, right? So some of the things that I was really looking for. So if you look at Commander here, the cards I have available, I really consider, should I use the ultra rare card from the Lalo deck, which is Wasteland Spectre. That is an option there. It's just that I do need to change my relic so that it uses Honor Intensity to build up there, and also thought about using, Nighthawk. So Nighthawk and the combination of these cards, they're good. But it's just that if the goal is to use it for 1 key and for overkill, these cards don't deal quite enough damage, although you can get a nice board full of gems there. And so, yes, Arcadian, I utilize the same strategy, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well. And so this was the card that I really wanted to make work. So Guardian of Gaul essentially works the same way as the ultra rare card, in that it actually will produce dark power gem 2s for every 5 dark gems on the board. And it has the same passive where it will actually increase the drop rate of dark gems. The only thing is this depends on corrupt intensity. And so if you don't have very high corrupt intensity, you don't actually notice this very well. And so this is something I was thinking about. And then I thought about putting Wicked Queen in for a heal. So even at 1 star, I think it gives you enough of a heal so that you could actually survive long enough. But then the problem is, who do I replace? So the cards I have right now, they basically all have a part. And this is where, like, if I have stronger cards, I would put in. But if I replace it with with another card that could heal, another option was to use Lady Aegisthus. So Lady Aegisthus would definitely replace one of the supports, or maybe even replace Hell, just so that I can do a full heal and a 2-turn delay, so that I can actually use Aswang for the full 10 power gems. But I think I actually lose damage overall there. And so let's go ahead and go for an ultra kill here. I think let's just see how much I can do with this particular setup. It goes so I'm already at level 289, so there's no way I can get. I'm giving up on the 500. I don't think I can get a 300. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for the 200% overkill, although that doesn't. I'm not sure how likely that would be. And so let's just make sure that we have it all set up here. So let's go for it. Hey, 162. You guys are close. Almost 200 for the legends, and Brenna Ann 302.72. Very nice. And yeah, so after this, we'll talk about one of the strategies you can use for key management if you're looking to save keys for the ultra kill bosses. And so very similar idea here. The nice thing is you don't really have to worry about health at this point, so I can go the full 6 turns. But I think because of the fact that I only have 4 commander cards, I actually need to do close to 10 turns, I think, before I can fully use Aswang. And man, this lag is crazy. I'm not sure if it's the phone heating up. Oh, sorry. Let me. Sorry about that. I accidentally deactivated my phone. Oh, I accidentally set my phone on. I locked my phone by accident there. So those are my kids there. All right, so let's keep going here. Brandon Ferguson, thank you very much. This is just something that I wanted to try and experiment and see how this works out for everybody. And so let's see here. So we're at 168, and so the goal is to go up to 300 here, and gonna go ahead and activate the support card again. 224. Thank you, Brandon. All right, so I think this is probably gonna take another 3 turns. So that's the thing, right? Like I have 2 support cards and I have 2 relics, and it still takes forever to get up to 300. And so it's just, you know, one of those things where the 6th turn cooldown and also the requirement to actually go up to 300 really it makes it a little bit tough. And so now everything is ready. And what I want to do also is I want to make sure that I wait 1 more turn so that I have the power battle skill ready, because I want to make sure that I can fill the board as much as possible. So let's go ahead and activate everything. So there's the 10 plus the 3 from Tikbalang, and then I have 10 from Hell, and then so I don't actually need any more. So let's go ahead and see how this works out. So let's see how close we get to the 200% overkill. So 62, looks like maybe 300% might be even close. So no, 300, not 300%, but I was able to get 200% overkill there. So 159 overkill. So I guess if I had done some attacks in the beginning, that would have made it easier as well. But at least I was able to get close to 200. So it's not too bad. It's not ideal, but it's, you know, it's better than I actually could have hoped for with the team that I have, with the setup I got. All right, so I talked about, you know, one thing that that I do for key management, and so the key here is you have to know which bosses take up which key. And so the boss for Lazarian, this is the one that will take the overkill. And so what I do, I'm not sure how you guys do it, what I do is I actually just use this in the beginning for all of the bosses, including I would go through the legend boss with him, and then I will also use that obviously for the overkill, and then I just don't bother with the bone collector boss, so I can save all the keys for the ultra kill. And so if you kind of go through this, you can maximize your keys there. And so if we take a look at the rewards here, so let's see how we're doing with our runes. So no duplicates there, so that's good. And then I think I got my overkill collection. And so let's get my first master card rune. And so hopefully I can collect the rest of them, but unfortunately I'll only be able to collect a maximum of 4. And I'm able to craft one rune this time around. So if I can get my master collection to runes to look well, then I might just go ahead and get the event card. I'll have to see. So let's see here. So Lee Scott, I've got the same cards, but also extra support card. And Motley, would you recommend using the same setup as you have, or use both support, Motley, Aswang, and Tibang? So if you have 2 support cards already and Motley, then that's a good question. I would probably use, you know, the support card and Motley as well instead of 2 support cards there. So just because you get additional commander gem bonus as well as a couple of power gems. What I've noticed is that in the previous event, adding the event hero into the deck does increase your damage overall, because you're getting additional boost there. And I think just play around a little bit. And one of the things you can try and do to save keys is to experiment on the guild boss. So use the guild boss to test out different team setups, so you don't waste keys on the actual solo bosses. That's one thing that you can try. And so Rylan and Lopez looked at the collection and came up with deck idea: Xeno Scourge, Menacing Tikbalang, Chariot, Hell, and Rat King. Yes, so Rat King works as well. So we can set this up right now so we can take a look as well. So let's go ahead and see what you're saying. So basically just swap out. Let's see, what would I swap out? So I guess I would swap out this one with Xeno Scourge. So it would be Dark God, or I can actually use Dark Dragoon here. And I think use Hell and Rat King instead of this guy, right? So that's the Rat King. So just Dark Warden. Yeah, so this team will work okay as well, although I'm not sure how much damage it'll deal. So let's take a look. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I would do, right? So this is where I would go to the guild boss. Might as well give my attack into the guild legend boss here. And if I were to try this, just use one key here just to see what the damage output is going to be like, and then so you can use this to then assess what it's going to be like when you play this deck. So I don't think I needed to change any. Yeah, I don't think I needed to really change any relics there. And so again, this is a turn 2 type deck, and so let's go ahead and activate everything. So you can activate this and then fill it up with the support card. So it's a nice full board of power gems there, but with this particular setup, you only have 2 commanders. And so you're losing a little bit of the commander bonus there. And so the total damage output looks like to be about 12 billion. And so that's something to consider as well. Like you have to sort of strike a balance between the commander gems and also the total amount of power gems that you get, and also how much your team is getting boosted. So right now, I'm not trying to discourage this, right? I'm just trying to kind of logically go through what's happening here. So you've got a Warden, a Dragoon, and a Slayer card, and none of these cards are powered up by your Trusted Chariot, and so that is unfortunate. And so that's why the damage output is a little bit lower, but it is something that works out. I mean, it's still 12 billion, so that could also easily be used for other purposes as well. So we're at 30 minutes. I think just gonna maybe go a couple minutes more, and then I'm gonna call it a night here. So I'm just gonna answer a couple more questions here. Let's see here. So Victor, I really feel the lack of power gems on this deck because of the power gems are Supercharged Magwell and Xenoscourge. Yeah, it's if you don't have the cards from the previous Dark Commander event, it really is going to be difficult. It's really the power gem force at this point, and so hang in there. And Paxton, so I understand the Motley Oizoso ability to destroy dark gems. Is it important? Yes, I guess you won't notice at the beginning. So the gem destroy in the beginning is not going to be very noticeable because it doesn't really. I think it only destroys 3. But in the end, it'll destroy up to 12 if you can get your skill points up to 300. And where it starts to make sense is if you don't have enough gem spawners, or if you can't create a full board of gems. So generally, when you have a board of gems that are scattered, power gems are scattered, it's a little bit harder to combine them in a chain. And so sometimes you might actually lose some damage. But by doing a gem destroy, and if you can couple it with a gem rain, then what happens is you can group all of the power gems together, and then if you have the gem fall on top of that, you'll fill up the board with dark gems. So then that'll give you almost always more damage. And so that's the reason why there's a benefit of using that. And so hopefully that answered your question. And so just a couple more minutes. If there's any other questions, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm going to scroll up a little bit here. I think I've probably answered everything there. And yeah, I just did a Ultra Boss, only 200% though. That's probably what I'm going to be getting because I was at level 289. So I would expect to get 200, which is not bad, but it just means I'm not going to get any of the bonus there. So anyways, so if there's no more questions, like if there's anything I didn't answer, hopefully this is helpful. But if there's anything you'd like to hear, feel free to reach out to me on my on the network app. Just look me up, or you can join my my channel as well, which is T-Bone LGOH chat. So you can look me up there. And so, is there a card that has Dark Gem Fall? Yes, there is Luciano. Luciano is a commander card, which is, I think it's in my codex. So I actually mentioned that in the last stream, so I'll show you. So this is a card that has Gemfall, although it has a dependency on intensity as well. And again, I'm having a hard time looking for this card. So here's the card. So Luciano Karn, this card is older, but it does have a the drop rate increase, and then the other one is Loki. But there is nothing that is aside from the ultra rare card this time. So anyways, so hopefully this was helpful. Thanks a lot for joining me. Thanks a lot for watching. You guys have been great. This is really wonderful. So the next time I'm going to stream will probably be on next Tuesday. So again, for preview day, I'm going to do a little bit of a stream, and then the goal is we'll go through the cards in the beginning, and then we'll use the rest of the time to chat and to talk, and just hopefully answer some questions. So anyways, thanks a lot for joining me. Take care. I'll see you next time.